edition of Lotus Riché Ignite Show, bringing you realness, authenticity, and unparalleled wisdom from top leaders, business professionals, pioneers, and everyday people. Thank you for joining us. Have a great time during the show. Hello, and come on in, and get in where you're fitting. I'm your girl, Dr. Lotus Riché, right here on the Lotus Riché Ignite Show. As you see, I am in the studio, and boy, oh boy, have I got a great show for you tonight. So as I always say, come on in, get in where you fit in. Why? Because I always got room around my table just for you, your friends, and also your frenemies, because your frenemies need to hear what's going on too. So listen, tonight I have living legends in the studio right here at the Lotus Riché Ignite Show. They have aired all over the world, and I'm telling you, they have paved the way for musicians all around the world to get down, get funky, get down, get loose, because they all got a brand new bag. And that's right. Each and every guest here tonight has traveled and been around the world with the remarkable godfather of soul himself, Mr. James Brown. That's right. And guess what? I have an exclusive. That's right, baby. I got some secret sauce, and you can get lost in the secret sauce. So go ahead and get your little biscuits, because it's gonna be some time to sop up this secret sauce. So as you come in, go ahead and share the broadcast. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to share that broadcast. I'm going to give you approximately 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Come on in and get in where you fit in right here at the Lotus Riché Ignite Show, sharing the best and top leaders in influencing all around the world. That's right here on the Lotus Riché Ignite Show, featuring tonight our topic of choice, soulful collaboration. Welcome to the show. Go grab a friend and come on in. All right, I hope you took caution on that 30 seconds and made sure you went and tag somebody. When you come in, go ahead and tag your friends. Let us know where you're coming in from. If you're coming in from Wisconsin, if you're coming in from Honolulu, if you're coming in from Madagascar, or wherever you're coming in the world, I want you to let us know where you're coming in from. We're always happy to have you. And so if you want to make a comment, or if you want to ask any of our guests anything, please don't hesitate. Go ahead and put it in the chat that you'll see once the show gets rocking and rolling. All right. So, and also don't forget, now my guests don't know that I'm telling you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This band can travel anywhere in the world. So if you want to see them in your venue, don't hesitate to ask them on the show to come in and do your venue. So I know most of you are saying, okay, Dr. Lotus, what's in your cup? Here's my cup right here. Ooh, and if you don't have an Ignites cup, you need to go on to my Teespring and go ahead and get you an Ignites cup. But I'm drinking some water tonight. What's in your cup? I definitely want to know. So as we get ready to start the show, I am going to bring one of the most instrumental people in the music industry on sax. That's right. He is none other than Sir Waldo Weathers, and he's here with me tonight along with his comrades, and we're going to have a soulful, funky, good time as we talk about soulful collaboration. So I want you to go ahead, hold on tight, because the show is going to be dynamite. And before I start the show, I'm going to give you a little teaser to ignite and take flight. The new season has exploded on the scene. The Lotus Riché Ignite Show is bringing realness, authenticity, and unparalleled wisdom from top leaders across the planet. Business professionals, pioneers, and everyday people are here to ignite and take flight. Let's go! All right. I've given you some time. To go ahead and blow your mind. So now what I want you to do is go ahead and tag a friend. Tell them to come on in. because it's time to win with Dr. Lotus Riché here on the Lotus Riché's Ignite Show. Now, go ahead and give us some L's. Put some L's in the comment. We want some love for this amazing band. We're not going to be here all night, so come on and get in where you're fitting and give them some love, because the next voice you're going to be hearing is not only mine, you're going to be hearing from Sir Waldo Weathers himself as we get down with the get down. Let's go.
All right, it's dynamite. It's time to ignite and take flight in every area of your life as the Lotus Riché Ignite Show soars to new heights. Tonight, our phenomenal guest is none other than the Pope of Funk himself, Sir Waldo Weathers. Along with the phenomenal James Brown Band.
Tyrone Jefferson, the first sister, Cynthia Moore, Fred Thomas, Hollie Farris, LeRoy, Funky Harper, Jimmie Lee Moore, Spike Nealyll, and Robert Thompson. Let's hear it for the Soulful Collaboration. Woo!
Over here tonight on the Lotus Riché Show.
Waldo Weathers! Woo! Hey, let's make it funky. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing as well as I can.
Fantastic. And I say how you doing tonight, but I know it's 2 a.m. over there in Germany, and I am so happy to have you. And for some of you that's just joining the show, welcome to the show. This is none other than our guest all the way from Germany, the Pope of Funk himself, Sir Waldo Weathers. He's a famous saxophonist, manager of the James Brown Band, owner of operator at Sir Waldo and Daniela's German American Soul Snacks, and he is here on the Ignite Show tonight. And this morning, hello UK, hello Germany, hello all around the world, to get this party started as we talk about soulful collaboration. But guess what, baby? Guess what? We are not alone. So, Mr. Weathers,
yes, ma'am.
Again, I'm happy to have you here. But I say, let's go ahead and bring the songbird in herself. The songstress, the lady with the pipes, the lady that get it right. Why? Because she is dynamite. Let's go ahead and bring her on, the first sister herself. Come on in, Cynthia. Woo!
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing this evening, darling?
If I was any better, there'd be two of me telling two of you the same thing.
All right, girlfriend. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's so good to see you. I'm so happy that you're here. And look,
thank you.
It's not a party until Tyrone J step in the house and get the party started. So I said, I think I heard Tyrone J in the back. Let's welcome none other than the trombone get down all alone, Mr. Tyrone Jefferson himself. What's going on, Tyrone?
Oh, Lord.
How you doing? You killing me.
Hey, good to see
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Happy to be today, Tyrone. And of course, now we really about to ignite and take flight and do it right. Why? Because we got the man that's about to blow his own horn, none other than the remarkably incredible Hollie Farris. What's going on?
What? All right. No, me. Oh my goodness.
You,
That's
Hollie, how
funny.
you doing, darling?
I'm good. Better not deserve.
Fantastic. Well, you know, we're always happy to see you here at the Lotus Riché Ignite Show. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on. And those of you that's just joining us, we want to thank you and we want to welcome you to the Lotus Riché Ignite Show, where we do it right. We bring everybody in, get close and tight, and we tell them, come on in, and get in where you fit in, because we always got room around our table for you. Thanks again for joining the show. And that's right, we got a little star in the making. So you might hear our little star talking and co-signing on what's going on. So look, folks, you guys have been in the industry for so long. I mean, you've just been all over the world. You've sung with some of the top performers on the planet, but especially Mr. James Brown. So I want to go ahead and do a round robin. And I want to start right with you, Sir Waldo. I want you to tell the world a bit about yourself, where you're at, and what you're doing in your life right now, because I know you just became the manager of the James Brown Band. And then we're going to kick it right to the songstress herself right after you. Go ahead, Mr. Waldo.
Okay, well, as you know, I'm Sir Waldo Weathers from Stuttgart, Germany. And I've been back with the group now for, I guess, a month. And I keep asking myself, how in the hell did I get in this position? I still don't know. But anyway, yeah, we have our own little restaurant, Sir Waldo and Daniela's Soul Snacks in Stuttgart. By the Vandertone is the like the Needle in Seattle, but the one in Stuttgart is the first one built in the world.
Yes.
So a lot of people come there, and we have all around over 1 million people a year just coming through there to check it out. And other than that, I'm still trying my best to keep this music thing going and trying to help out my brothers and sisters, the James Brown Band, and we gonna get it together. We working real hard to pull this thing together. Cynthia, if you don't shut that baby up, I'm gonna jump through your screen. But anyway, uh, messing up my talk time. Hey, taking my cricket
all
minute.
right. That's what happens. That's what happens when we have little people in the house. But she's here, and that's what's up. That's what's going on. So let's kick right over, because she's gonna be back. Let's kick right over to you, Mr. Tyrone. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how long you. Well, tell us who you are first, and then we'll jump into all the other particulars.
Okay, well, I joined the band in 1979. That's an interesting story, but I'll just give you the overview right now. Right now, I'm in charge of a nonprofit in Charlotte, North Carolina, called the Sign of the Times of the Carolinas. And we're a nonprofit that shares the history of Black folks through music, dance, and spoken word. And we've been in existence as a nonprofit going on, this is our 16th or 17th year. So.
He said so. What else you want me to tell them? Help us with that nonprofit. So, all right, Mr. Tyrone, thank you so much. And of course, we are going to let you blow your own horn as we go right to Mr. Hollie Farris. Hollie Farris, let us know what's going on with you.
Well, I keep trying to retire, but they won't let me. So,
Ah,
yeah. I'm still playing music. I'm playing with 3 different bands, not counting the James Brown band.
mhm.
And of course, that's the one I really want to keep playing with. And we want to keep honoring James. And as long as people remember him, we want that to happen. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love that. So thank you everybody for sharing a bit of your love and light. And when she gets back in pocket, we going right to the sister herself. We want the sister to let us know a little bit about who she is and what she does and how she got involved with the band. So sister, whenever you're ready, you can open up your mic and do what you like.
Hello.
All right. You got to turn your mic on, darling.
Go get your ball.
All right. There you go.
You got me?
Yes, he got you.
Okay, how y'all doing this evening? My apologies. You know how it is when you got little ones that are around. I've been with Mr. Brown since '91. I joined the group then, and it's funny because our guitar player, our former guitar player, Mr. Ron Laster, was playing in my group here in Buffalo, New York, and at the time, Mr. Brown was coming out of incarceration and getting the group back together again. He said, well, why don't you come and audition? I'm like, he don't want me to come and do nothing for him, you know. I'm like, he said, send a tape. I sent the tape. He said, I hear, but she ain't here. So I sent a VHS. I'm dating myself now since I sent the VHS tape. And he said, I see her and I hear, but she's not here. I'm like, well, what did he want me to do? You know? So me and Lisa Rushton, who was my background singer in my band, what she did, she came along with me and we drove down to Augusta, 16 and a half hours. And I apologize for the camera moving. 16 and a half hours. And what we did, we went down and we waited while the band was rehearsing. And we sat and we waited and we waited and we waited and we were finally called into the room and he asked us, he said, why are they here? You know? And we finally went in and I sung a song. I sung Home by Stephanie Mills. Lisa Rushton, she sung Vision of Love by Mariah Carey. And he said, wow, you guys got some beautiful voices. Where are you from? We said, Buffalo. But okay, yeah, okay, Buffalo. He said, how'd you get here? We drove. He said, y'all drove all the way here. He said 16 hours. I said 16 and a half, sir. He said, you sound like this. And you girls sound like this, and y'all came down here. He said, see, fellas, they hungry. That's what I'm talking about. They're hungry. That's what hungry is. And so he hired us on the spot. He hired us on the spot, and the rest is basically history. And I've been with him ever since '91. So, you know, yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
tonight, again, I want to thank all of y'all for coming to the show. Tonight, we're talking about soulful collaboration because all of you have had a wonderful time in history. You've actually created history with not only the other bands that you've played with, not only your own bands, but the remarkable godfather of soul himself, James Brown, hence the James Brown Band. So let's get right into it. Mr. Weathers, Sir Weathers, I want to ask you quickly, what inspired you all to kind of get back together? Because I know that you live overseas and mostly everyone else is here in the United States.
Well, the way things happen is that for whatever reason, the group was together.
None other than the Popo Funk himself. None other than the Popo.
I'm hearing something. Okay.
I'm a little guessing.
The group was together 3 or 4 years before I came back, and you know, it's really better for them to all try to work together, being in the U.S. than having me all the way over here. And so what happened? The sax player, the other sax player, Jeff Watkins, he got sick, and the other sax player, LeRoy Harper, he was so busy, they couldn't fit him in. So of course, ever since then, I was just, really cussing them out and calling them all kind of names. Yeah. But anyway, so it's like when things supposed to happen, when something's supposed to happen, God make it happen. If you're supposed to be somewhere, you're gonna get there no matter what. So they called me finally, and then I came in, and then I've done what I do, and me and Tyrone talked, and he, for whatever reason, was inspired by my rap, and we hooked it up, and so here it is. We trying to do what we're doing, and now I don't know if you got the message or not, but I got two other people that's trying to get on here, Jimmie Lee and Spike, but I actually think they are on the wrong. They're on the wrong thing. They're on Messenger.
Yeah, and it's okay. What we'll do,
Somebody got a dog.
And
Must be Hollie.
I'll copy the link, and they can come on in, and I'll put it in the comments because I'm sure they're watching the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the comments, and you come on into the show. Now, if you jump in the show and you're a fan and you want to say something, I might bring you in the show, but you have to make sure you keep it right and keep it tight, okay? Because tonight we're talking about soulful collaboration, okay? And it's unequivocal that everyone that you see here before you tonight has been a part of a major soulful collaboration, and they're keeping on. Like, Gladys and I say, keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
And like Mr. James Brown say, Papa got a brand new bag. Well, you all are creating a brand new bag of funk, and you guys are spearheading it. So I want to jump right to you, Mr. Hollie, and I want you to talk to me about how it's been for you since all of you got together and what inspired you to do so.
Well, like I said, from my college days, I was always an admirer of James Brown and loved him and loved his music. And then once I got hired by him, I was just like, well, I've made it now. I've made it. This is the big time. And ever since that I've been with, I joined in 75, by the way. And all those times with him, all those years, it's been one experience after another, some great, some not so great. But I always like his music and wanted to continue on, and whatever I can do to make it keep going, that's what I'm about. So
awesome. And so let's go right to you, sister. We want you to unmute your mic, and we want you to come on in, and we want you to share what inspired you to get with the band and what's going on since you're back in the band. How are you feeling about being back in the band?
I mean, many. I really never left. A lot of them have gone and done other things, and I mean, all I've done was wait until we could all just get together and do things. I've always been a part of the band. I'm part of the Bittersweet.
Yes.
I'm one of the last ones that was still there. That was one of the groups that Mr. Brown formed with us with the Soul Generals after 91. Many have come, many have left, some have passed, but I've stayed the whole course, and I mean, I've loved it, I mean, the reason why I'm with Mr. Brown and enjoy doing what he does is because I did that with my own band when I was here in Buffalo, New York. So I was already kind of like, in a sense, I won't say prepared, but knew what kind of like I was getting into when I went to audition for Mr. Brown in 91. I love what I'm doing. And now Mr. Brown has gone on, and now they're kind of like featuring me in the show, which is amazing. I went out this time and we did very well. I have a song that's coming out. I mean, it's out, basically. And I got a chance to perform it while I was there, and it went pretty well. And I'm so excited about it. I don't know, I'm just happy to just have another hurrah out here because the COVID being as it is and having things where we couldn't really get out and do what we wanted to do. And that's not just for us, but for other bands and people that
Right.
wanted to get out and entertain.
Mhm.
So, I mean, just to come out and do it again and just to see everybody once again, it's a blessing in itself because since this happened, some of our greatest people within our group has gone on, you know, our MC, Danny Ray,
Yes.
you know, and I'm like, I mean, and it was rough for me as well, you know, because I mean, COVID is no joke. And I mean, that happening with everybody, it took a toll out on a lot of things and a lot of people. So I'm happy to be in the group and still hanging in there.
So we see that secret sauce up there. You told us you got a new song coming out. What's the name of the song?
I Want to Make You Dance.
I Want to Make You Dance. All right.
Yeah. Well,
And
somebody wants to cry and don't want me to say anything about it because I'm giving up too much of my time. But come on, what's the matter?
all right, so that's the song I Want to Make You Dance. When is it gonna hit for people to pick it up?
We're in the process of working on that right now. I can't tell you exact date, but it is definitely in the making. We just put it out there as a feeler to let everybody hear it, and it got a very good response. So far so good. So it's on the way. Trust me, it's on the way.
Awesome.
It is on the way.
Look, and once it come out, I want you back on the show.
Okay,
so
no worries.
Know what's going on. Okay?
No worries.
All
no
right.
worries
Fantastic.
at all. That's
I'm gonna
right.
make you dance. Y'all make sure y'all go on out there and get that new record. Once she drops it and say it's here, make sure you go get it because I'm definitely gonna get it and play it right here on the show.
Thank you.
Right now, let's pop on over to you, Mr. Tyrone. What inspired you to have this soulful collaboration with everybody here on the James Brown Band?
What inspired me? Well, you know, I feel like we're family, even though when I was in the band, I seldom stayed longer than 3 months at a time. Mr. Brown was a very interesting person. I love him to death, but I got fired a lot. So, you know, plus I had a day job and 3 kids, you know, so what inspired me are all the people that have gone through the band from when I joined in 79 to modern day, present day. It keeps me going because that's a very unique family. Think about it. There are 8 or 9 people. Mr. Brown could have picked there 7 billion people maybe in the world. Mr. Brown picked between at any given time, let's say 10 to 12 of them. You know, and he has a history of all these great musicians. I mean, Hollie, Farris, Mousey, Parker, Fred, Wesley, you know. So it was always a pleasure for me just to drop in, be with the band, try to hold down whatever I could. I did learn all of Fred Wesley's solos, but again, you don't want to mimic someone before unless it's an iconic solo. And Wesley solos are iconic, you know. So, so I just enjoyed the whole thing. You don't have to pay me to go out with this band because I love all the members of this band. It's
yes, he does.
And I love it. I love it. Oh, I didn't tell you that, Waldo. I'm sorry.
I love it. So look, folks, we're going to take a quick break and pay homage to where homage is due and bring the remarkable man that has brought it all together, none other than Mr. James Brown himself. All right. Add him to the screen. And here's some secret sauce because here they are. All right, all right, all right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What kind of memories does that bring back to you? And folks, those of you around the world that just saw that clip, I wonder if you could guess who's who back there. Okay. Most everybody got their hair though, except one of us. Okay. Well, maybe two of us. But tell us what you felt. Our viewers, what did you feel? Did you feel joy? Did you feel love? Did you feel excited? And are you ready to support the continuing James Brown band? So I'm going right to you first, sister.
Yes.
See this footage?
Look here.
What comes to mind?
Look, that's almost at the end of the show. You know, you so happy because you've been up there at least a good 2 hours jumping and buck dancing, but you having a good time. It's like family. We up there like, woo, my left leg. This was sleep. Just keep moving. Just keep moving.
I love it.
But I'm telling you, it's nonstop movement on that stage all the time, from the time you get up there to the time you get off. I'm serious. Then you don't have an encore. We got to come back out another 20 minutes.
Right. And check this out. Before the Running Man was in style, y'all was doing the Running Man. Check this out.
Oh, yes. That's Mr. Brown and Mr. Roosevelt Johnson. Yes, that's me there in the middle back there.
Yes. And who's that right in front of you?
That is Miss Sheila Wheat. That is another one of the Bittersweet.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes.
So hello to the Bittersweets. Yep.
And Miss Kelly Gerald right there next to me. Yes.
Yes. Yep. Awesome. Fantastic. So let's kick this ball over to Mr. Hollie. Mr. Hollie, when you see this, what comes to mind?
Now can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that show was in England. I can't think of the guy's name, but anyway, Joss Stone ended up coming out and performing with James.
Yes.
And then a few months later, he died, and she hired two of the horn players, to play with her because she loved him so much.
Right. And so for those of you that aren't aware of who it is, let's take a look.
That's Jeff.
And tonight, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going back. And folks, we do not own the rights to this video. And we give all credits to the James Brown and Joss Stone live review. Okay. So let's talk about that moment in time. Let's go back to you, Hollie.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, like I said, that was. I'm not sure if that's the first time we met her. She played at what was that festival in England, that gigantic festival. Anyway, she opened for us there, and I think that's the first time we met her. And then she came on the show and played with James, sang with James. I think Man's World.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And, yeah. Which she also sang at the Kennedy Honors when the year that James was honored.
Yes.
She sang Man's World. And it's like, who is this young little white British girl singing soul music? What's up with that? But she had the soul, and she fit right in. And James loved her for it, and she was great. We loved it. There she is.
See, man, make it hard. Take us over the road. Baby, the train had no. Man, make the right. Take us out of the door.
So we want to pay homage to her and Mr. James tonight. And the James Brown Band is here, keeping it right and tight. So we salute you both up above in the heavens. Thank you for your contributions to the world. Wow, Hollie, that's a memory.
I got something else to say about that song, Man's World. We played in Modena, Italy, with an orchestra, and James and Pavarotti sang Man's World.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first and only time I've ever cried on a performance. It was so touching.
Mm-hmm.
I was crying. So were a lot of other people. It was awesome.
You told me it was something in your eye.
No, I lied. There's a skeeter. A skeeter got my eye.
In your eye. Again, we want to thank, of course, the James Brown and Josh Stone Live. We don't own the rights or credits to that video, but we want to thank them for allowing us to share this moment in time. And thank you, Hollie, because that's awesome that you bring that up. And so, Tyrone, we going right to you, Mr. Tyrone. Talk to us.
What you want to hear?
Tell us how it's feeling for you to be a part of this continued legacy as you move forward with the James Brown Band. But
don't forget that he's the boss.
I know he's the boss, but I wanted him to tell me.
No. You know, I don't want anyone to get this wrong.
I always
feel like I always feel honored to come out to play with these beautiful, talented musicians. Because keep in mind, I was one of those guys that seldom stayed out there on the road. I had a day job, 3 kids, a wife, So when Mr. Brown would call, I'll give you one example. Arsenio Hall show.
Yep.
The office called and said, Mr. Brown wants you to be in Los Angeles to do the Arsenio Hall show. So I flew out on a Friday, 3 hours difference, you know. I got there around 5 o'clock. I did the gig. I flew back home afterwards. On Monday morning, the next day at my what I call the plantation, the job, a lady said, I saw James Brown on Arsenio Hall on Friday. There was somebody looked just like you. I said, no, that was my twin brother. That wasn't me. I live in Brooklyn, New York.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love it.
So I had a lot of stories like that because I think I never stayed out there longer than 6 months because I love Mr. Brown. Sometimes he would call me in his dressing room and we'd have conversations. And I'll tell you this one quick story. We were in Pittsburgh and I was talking to Mr. Brown about sharing with the public the genius that I think he was. And he said, he called everybody Mr. and Miss. Mr. Jefferson, nobody's going to listen to me. I say, Mr. Brown, listen, we can book the Apollo. We can have all the music publishers and composers come just listen to you. You can be the biggest verb buster in the world, but everyone's going to listen to you because you got all these hits. Now, make a long story short, I had Reggie Simmons and some other people helping with this. North Carolina A&T was going to give him an honorary doctorate. This brother, we had everything in place. And then I see him on the 6 o'clock news shooting out the tires. So A&T pulled the thing. There was no Apollo pulled the thing. Nothing happened. And then the brother was incarcerated. You know, and we still stayed in touch. Well, through other people. But this was the up and down with Mr. Brown, you know, and so I don't really consider myself, I don't even like to talk about being the musical director because the music director is the ones that put up with all Mr. Brown stuff. Hollie, Farris, Maceo Parker, Fred Wesley, Pee Wee Ellis, those cats. Those are the heroes. Because, like I said, I had a day job. I could just say, I can't tell you what I say.
Right. I love it. I love it. I love to keep that funk fairness real. And so listen, we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we're going to come back and we have a question from one of our viewers that we're going to take. We're going to take a question from our viewers. I'm going to put it up here now so that we can look at it and roll that around a little bit while we take this quick break. The amazing poet Dr. Yamaja Jubilee says, how do all of you take the funk and take it higher? So that's the question. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
What kind of man you are? Che genere d'uomo sei e che genere di artista vorresti essere? Well, I'm a very simple man, and most of all, I try to be honest. Real. Sono un uomo molto semplice, soprattutto cerco di essere onesto e veramente schietto con la mia gente che mi ha fatto diventare il vivo che sono oggi. I would love to be, mi piacerebbe essere uno di cui ci si possa fidare e di cui si possano cogliere i sentimenti. In quale misura la tua adolescenza ha segnato la...
Awesome. And I got that footage from Sir Waldo Weathers. That's where I got that footage from. So we just wanted to take a quick break for those of you that's just joining us. Just so you know what's going on here tonight, we are having a wonderful talk about soulful collaboration. And we have a guest that has a question. So let's take this time to say hi to our guests from all around the world. We've got Miss Kay De Leon. She said the funk is in the house, watching from the Philippines. Bruce Price, wow, soulful collaboration from the Networking Ninja. And all the way from Patterson, Newark, New Jersey, Quanasia Lighty. Hey, cuz, I'm here, and I'm so happy that you are. And of course, we've got Eric Hargrove. Eric, where you coming in from? He says hello to everyone. And we've got Tina Ezel. Where are you coming in from? She says, what's
Eric,
up? Eric
was our drummer. Eric was one of our drummers.
Oh, really? Wow. Let's go back to Eric.
Which also played with Bootsy Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's married with children and lives in Japan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Hey there, Eric. Next time you got to join us on the show. And Patricia Forward. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Hey, cuz, what's up? And when James Brown says get up, it's impossible not to. And she is a James Brown fan. She said, Man's World is a great song. And Eric says, yo, brother, I'm in Singapore.
Right. Whatever.
Awesome sauce. So let's get back to the question. We want to thank each and every one of you. And Dr. Yamaja, she says that funk is healing. And we know that funk is healing. And like our guest said, when he says get up, you can't really sit down. And so when the band says get up, I double dog dare any of you to sit down. So look, we got to bring y'all back for y'all to do a set on the show next time you come, okay? So let's go ahead and get to this question. Dr. Yamaja says, how do all of you take the funk and take it higher? Let's go right to you, Sir Waldo.
Well, it's actually a simple question. That's when it's the same equivalent of the people that believe in God. When you go to church and you let your soul be uplifted, it's the same thing with funk or any other kind of music. You let your insides come out. You relieve yourself, and don't, a lot of people, like I've heard a lot of people that can sing but will not grab a microphone, will not come on stage. I've heard a lot of people that can play will not come on stage because they are afraid to let out their feelings. So it's all about letting out your feelings. Let your feelings show. That's what it is, in my opinion.
I love it. So you got to let your soul be free, and don't let fear hold you back. You just got to let go. So we're going right up to you. Mr. Tyrone. What you got for us? What are your thoughts on the question that Dr. Yamaja shared? How do all of you take the funk and take it higher?
I want to quote Mr. Brown on this one. For me, music is like your heartbeat. And Mr. Brown used to always like a heavy one. So that kind of thing, a heavy one. A drummer that couldn't do that didn't make it in the band. So think about music that's akin to your heartbeat. That's it right there. That's it. It's like life. It's a moving force right there in front of you on stage. And he could make stuff up in the moment, you know. So it's that whole great thing about black folk music, you know, just improvisation, not only in jazz, but in funk. You have to follow Mr. Brown. He got signals. Now you talk about something that's African. This meant one thing, something else meant something else, you know, like you get all these signals. But the band had to follow, because if you didn't follow, you get fined.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about like $5.
Wow. So what did he mean when he said, take it to the bridge? Can we take it to the bridge? What did that mean?
You still, that's for me or somebody else in the band?
Yes.
Oh.
What did that mean? Because you said
song,
like put it on the one. What did take it to the bridge mean?
Every song has a format, you know, so you can have a verse. Now you got to have a release, something that kind of gets you away from the verse. I got the feeling, you know, whatever. Now taking it to the bridge is usually like a 5 chord or something that's a fourth above the key you're in. So that's just black folk music. I mean, almost everything I do, whether it's jazz, R&B, gospel, it's got a bridge. It's got something, a release it goes to. Whether you sing a Nearer My God to Thee or Get on the Good Foot. It's got a bridge.
Right on.
Yes, I'm loving it.
Near my God to Thee, good God.
I love it. So, first sister, let's go ahead and I'd like you to chime in on this question. How do you take funk to the next level?
Look, all I know is that he could take the same song he made 20 years ago and just he won't change the key. He'll just change different notes in it and keep it fresh where everybody can hear it, you know, and everybody has a different take on what they like in different songs that he do. Like if he did Man's World this way, I like the older version. I like the new. He always kept something changing all the time in the music. It was the same music, it was just done a different way, you know. Yes. And he involved everybody in it. He touched ages young and old. Always kept a clean show. Always had respect for everybody that was there. And I mean, people like to see that. They don't like a lot of derogatory things and you know, stuff like that going on in music. And I mean, and that took us a long way right there. Really, it did. You know, and his music stayed there. You had rap, so we touched a little bit on that, but we didn't really. That was never his thing. He stayed with it, and he just kept going with it. And all he did was just refresh it each and every time. I changed the horn lines in this a little bit. I had the girls, the singers, instead of saying "ooh," he might say "ooh." You know, it might be soft, it might be lighter, it might be a different way. But he always was just constantly evolving, doing something new all the time, and keeping it fresh. Right. You know. Right. Yes, he did.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, and when another thing, when I first came into the group, all three of it was myself, Lisa Rushton, and Miss High. We did not even know what our name was going to be, you know, when we first all got together. And he hired me and Miss Rushton to be along with Miss High. And we were just trying to think of different names of what the group would be. And we said this name, that name. This, he said, that's nice, but you still don't got it. Ain't nobody gonna have it but me.
You
that's something I'm gonna take care of, you know. So thank you, ma'am, but that ain't gonna work. Thank you, ma'am, that ain't gonna work. So we were recording in the studio, and we was recording the song "Move On" from the Love Overdue album.
Yes.
This was the first one that was out in '91, right after he came out of incarceration. Okay. And we were singing "Move On." He said, "Tell him, Bittersweet." We're like, excuse me, what? We never knew that was it. He said, "I already told you what your name was. You don't listen. Know what you're singing. Pay attention. Pay attention." So that's how we found it. And I mean, it is, and it's bittersweet. So you got good things that happen, bad things that, but it's all still good. You know, you live and learn, and you just, you know, I miss him. Truly, I do. I honestly do. There's no telling what he would say right about now.
Yes.
With things
I know
going on the
that's
way they are, boy.
funny.
Woo!
That is so funny. And you know,
Yeah.
you brought up somebody earlier,
Mhm.
and you talked about Miss Hyde.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, you know, it's just amazing because I had some footage of her. Hey there, how you doing? Welcome, 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 Jimmie Moore.
He finally got in there, huh?
You finally got in. Welcome, Jimmie.
How you
I
doing?
had some footage on Soul Train when
Okay.
Mhm.
she debuted on Soul Train. And it's so
Yes.
funny because we talked about how she got her name and her hairstyle,
Mhm.
the blonde hair.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
you're so right. He always did cutting edge. And I must
Mhm.
say, Mr. Brown always I heard that he always wanted you to call each other Mr. or Miss. There was a level
Yes.
of respect.
Mhm.
And so
Yes.
in my own company, I do that
Yes.
with
Mhm.
my employees, my
Yeah.
family, those that help me and support me, because it's
Yes.
critical to give people the respect that's due
Exactly.
them
Yes.
before
Most
they ever
definitely.
even open their mouth. So I love
Mhm.
that. So thank you for sharing
Yes.
that. And
Mhm.
so Charles Russian, hi. Listening in from Nashville, honored to be in the presence of greatness. Fantastic. So look, everybody, we're gonna take a quick
That's
break.
my son in Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're gonna take a quick break. I see Miss Hillary Gooden. She just jumped off her show a minute ago, and she's here all the way from Chicago. Great to have you. Look, we're gonna take a break. We want everybody to put their money where their mouth is. We want you to go ahead and tag a friend and come on in because we about to close this down soon, but not before we come right back. We come right back and hear from Mr. Jimmie Moore. Okay, we're
All
gonna
right.
hear from
Amen.
Mr. Jimmie Moore. He's gonna get on and do his thing. Let us know where he's coming in from and talk a little bit about the
All
James
right.
as we talk about this soulful collaboration. We'll be right back.
All right.
None other than the Popo Funk himself, Sir Waldo Weathers, along with the phenomenal James Brown Band.
LeRoy Funk Harper, Jimmie Lee Moore, Spike Nealyll, Robert Mousey Thompson. We got the party right here on the Lotus Riché Night Show. You can't get no funkier than that. You can't get no funkier than that. So welcome back to everybody here on the show all around the world. Go ahead and put a 5 in the comment block. Put a 5 in the comment block if you're ready to get funky. If you like the soulful collaboration that we're doing here with the James Brown Band under the leadership of one of the top sax players on the planet. And I say under the leadership because it's because of this man right here, so Waldo Weathers, that everybody is on this platform tonight. So I want to thank each and everybody for being here. Mr. Spike is in the house. And go ahead and turn on your camera when you get a moment. But we going right now to Mr. Jimmie Moore. Mr. Jimmie Moore, I want you to tell our guests from all around the world, and let me see something. That's right. Put your 5s in there. There's Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. That's right. This is the James Brown Band. We got fives coming in. Boom. Number 5. That's what I'm talking about. Throw those fives in. Throw those fives in. That's what I'm talking about. So, Mr. Jimmie Moore Jr., we're so happy to have you. Tell us where you coming in from and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm coming in from Miami, Florida. And I started playing music around 7 years old. My grandmother put a guitar in my hand. My mother was the drummer, and I was surrounded by these wonderful instruments. And always loved James Brown, Mr. Brown's music, you know. It just did something to me. And I used to see him on stage performing. I didn't understand much, but I said, I want to do that, whatever it is. But I never thought that I would end up in this band. But I just kept learning the music, and I also play guitar as well. I play guitar and keyboards and drums. And when I was confronted about coming out to work for Mr. Brown with Arthur Dixon, which is a drummer that's passed on now. But he told me, he said, hey kid, I was about 15 years old. He said, you know, I played with James Brown. And I'm like, really? He's like, yes, I do. And we was playing in a band here in Miami at a club called the Double Decker. A lot of famous musicians, such as Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett. It was like the place to be. Now, at 15 years old, of course, I should not have been in that club. But I found a way to sneak in, and just before I knew it, I was actually part of the house band. I was scared to get out the back window while my mom was asleep, and take my bass and catch the bus and go up on 79th Street and 7th Avenue here in Miami. And I had some friends that would sneak me in there because they knew I had a gift. And I remember when they gave me $100. I was 15 years old. That was a lot of money.
Yes.
I was like, what? You mean to tell me you're going to pay me for doing this? And this is where I met Arthur Dixon. I met Arthur Dixon at the club. It was also had a name called the Galaxy Club.
Yes.
Double Decker. A lot of musicians. I mean, whoever you could think about, they came there. This place still stands today. They want to tear it down because a lot of bad things have happened there. But now it's considered to be a historical landmark.
Yes.
So they won't tear it down. But anyway, it goes on. And he would tell me, look, man, take me to your house. I want to meet your family. And I took him to meet my mother and stuff like that at 15 years old. And she said, so you've been sneaking out playing with these guys? Now, Arthur Dixon was, a lot older than myself. And she said, well, as long as you keep him away from alcohol and stuff like that and have him back in the house by 12 o'clock. Because I had to go to school the next day. But that didn't happen. That didn't work out that way. I ended up with alcohol, everything they told me to stay away from, I did. Anyway, fast forward, something happened, and Mr. Brown needed a bass player. And I was too young to go out on the road. But when I got about 18 years old, Mr. Ray and Arthur Dixon decided to get me out there for some kind of, just to talk to Mr. Brown. I was nervous, about to pee on myself, because you going to meet this guy. I had heard a lot about it. And I just couldn't believe that I was actually going to meet the person that I admired so much. And I had been playing with a guy in town by the name of John Elwood, which he replaced Felipe for the Spinners. Felipe was going through some things, and John Elwood went to be with the Spinners, and the band didn't have anything else to do. So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to go out and see if I'm any good. Of course, everybody told me You can't work for that man. That man that's the best singer, dancer in the world. What makes you think that out of all these millions of people in the world that he would that he's gonna like you? So of course that kind of you can't listen to everybody.
That's right.
You know, when you know you got something that you believe that God has appointed you to do. I believe that was my allotment in life. I believe that was something I was supposed to do.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
I get there, and Mr. Parker asked me, "What do you know that we have that Mr. Brown played?" And I told him, "I can't tell you I know anything." Of course, they had auditioned all kinds of musicians. It was about 11 o'clock at night. And I said, "I can't tell you I know anything, but I have been playing this stuff in the club." And I said, "Mr. Brown," and he liked it that because he made all of us call each other by our surname, you know, Mr. Moore, Mr. Mrs. Moore, whatever it were. You had to do that. I say, well, the reason I say I don't know nothing because I didn't write that music. You wrote that music. If you say I know it, then I know it. So, and he say that again. I say, well, I didn't write the music. You wrote it. I know I've been playing according to my knowledge, but I can't just come in here and say I know your music, sir. I say, that's your music. If you say I know it, then I know it. And I got the job based on that.
Wow.
He liked what I said. He hadn't heard me play a note at that point. And he said, all right, man, did you hear that? Say it again, son. And,
Can I tell a story? Can I tell a story on Jimmie?
Yeah, and so after Mr. Farris, because we gotta wrap up here soon, and folks, we will bring them back. But we're gonna go right to Mr. Hollis. I'm waiting for Mr. Spike to come back in, okay? Because he was in, and for some reason I was bringing him up. It was too dark, we couldn't see him. But Mr. Spike, if you're here, if you see us, if you listen to the broadcast, come back in the studio. We want to see you. We want to bring you on before the end of the show. But Mr. Hollie, go ahead and tell your story. Then we're gonna take a quick break, and then before we go, everybody in the studio gonna do their best James Brown impression. They're gonna tell you where they're playing next and how to reach them. Okay. So, Mr. Hollie, you up?
Well, there's probably 50 stories I could tell about Jimmie Lee. But this one, we went to Brazil, I think, and Ron Laster, our guitarist, couldn't make it for some reason. He lost his passport. I don't know. Was arrested. I don't know. But we had no guitar player. Jimmie was a bass player. I didn't even know he played guitar. Guess who played guitar for the whole concert and played it perfectly? Jimmie Lee. He did it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was awesome. I couldn't believe it. It was great.
Wow.
You're a good player, Jimmie Lee. You play pretty good.
So look, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We only going to be back we only going to be gone for a second, but we're going to give you 30 seconds. And in this 30 seconds, we want you guys to nominate someone who you think is going to do the best James Brown impression, okay? Is it me? No, it's not me because I'm not going to be in the contest. I wasn't on the road with Mr. Brown. Is it, of course, the first sister, Cynthia Moore herself? I don't know. She said yes, so it might be. Is it going to be Mr. Tyrone J? I don't know. What you got to say? Tyrone laughing, but I think he might got some secret sauce. Or is it going to be Mr. Hollie Farris? What? I don't know. He's saying no, but we going to see. Or it just might be none other than Mr. Jimmie Moore Jr. himself. Or what? The funk doctor himself, Mr. Sir Waldo Weathers. So look, we gonna
get something growing out of your head.
You guys got 30 seconds plus a couple of added seconds. Pick who you think is gonna do the best James Brown impression. And if you pick the right one, you're going to get a gift from the Lotus Riché Ignite show. We'll be right back. You got 30 seconds. I'm not ready to do my thing. Which one of y'all gonna choose the right person? Who you think is gonna do the best impression of the remarkable father of soul, James Brown? Will it be all the way from Buffalo, New York, the first sister Cynthia Moore, Tyrone Jefferson, or Jimmie Lee Moore, or maybe Mr. Hollie, or maybe Sir Waldo? I don't know. And we're back right up front with Mr. Sir Waldo. Okay, let's look in the comments and see what we got. Okay. First of all, let me take this comment. All the way from Chicago, Miss Hillary Gooden says, it is so good to hear these types of discussions. The music you made with James Brown continues to impact across generations, and that's true. We agree with that. Do we agree? Let's give a hand clap if we agree. Woo, woo! Yes, that's what the James Brown Band does. They make history. They make impressions across every culture, across every generation. They're making a new sound, a new thing. Okay, so let's see what folks are talking about. Come on in. Go ahead, y'all vote. So Dr. Jimmie just said, sister's going to do it. And Charles Rushing, your son, said Sir Waldo Weather. I don't know. All right. And Kim Jenkins from the Kim Jenkins Show is giving us a clap. I don't know who she chose, but look, we going right to it. And so, for the first impression, we are going right to the middle, to the man with the hat, looking good, all that. That's where we are about to go. Are you ready, Mr. Jimmie Moore? Are you ready? Are you ready to be the first one with your impression? See, I'm holding it, y'all. I'm giving him some time to clear his throat and get it ready. Okay, so we gonna highlight Mr. Moore. All right, let's see. Hold on.
All right, man. There's only one thing in this world that matters. That's God, the Pope, and me.
All right, so look, we gonna put Mr. Jimmie in the screen all by himself. I want y'all to get it up close, okay? All right, that was a good practice run. All right, here we go. It's on you. Go ahead, Mr. Jimmie.
Dan, I want all to get together, man. We're so generous. Now I'm gonna tell you, if you don't play right, I'm gonna take a strike. Every time you make a mistake, I'm gonna take a strike. Now there's the only thing that matters: Bach, Beethoven, and Brown, and God, the Pope, and me. You understand?
Give it up. Come on, y'all. Give it up for Jimmie Lee Moore.
Hi, Jimmie.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing. So from 1 to 10, go ahead and rate Mr. Jimmie Lee Moore from 1 to 10, with 1 being, he was okay, 5 being, he got down with the get out, and 10 being, he is Mr. James Brown himself. Okay, we got a lot of comments streaming in. I love it. Woo! I love it. Okay, so next up is his name start with a T. And he is the Tyrone to the trombone to the get down with the sound. He's going to give us a little impression of Mr. James Brown at first, and then we're going to put him in a single screen. Mr. Tyrone, you are.
That was so funky. I want to jump back and kiss myself.
Man, come on now.
I love it. All right. Now, that was the warm-up, y'all. That was the warm-up. See, this is how we do it on Soulful Collaboration, right? That was the warm-up. So now he's going to get up close and personal with you. All right, Mr. Tyrone, you got the mic.
You want me to do something different?
Whatever you want to do, you got it.
I was thinking about this one thing. Mr. Brown said, Mr. Jefferson got all that education, but he lost.
Go ahead and vote from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Go ahead. Give it up for Mr. Tyrone. Come on, y'all. All right. So the next person, Mr. Hollie Farris. Hollie. Let's hear it, Mr. Hollie. What you got? He gonna do it right here in the group, and then we're gonna put him in a single pane all by himself.
Okie dokie. All right. He wanted to fight me one time. And I knew he was an ex-boxer when he was an amateur boxer when he was young. So I said, well, I won't fight you, but I'll wrestle with you. He jumped back for a second. He said, how you going to wrestle when I got your ass up in the air? All right, you win.
So now we go with solo screen. Straight on you. Ready? Mr. Hollie, let's go. Here we go.
What, again?
Yeah, you got it.
You ain't telling the same story?
You can tell something else. Do your impression.
Okay. I sold him a pair of my shoes that were extremely uncomfortable. And every time he'd see me, he would have those shoes on. He'd say, I got your shoes. Don't they look good? Finally, I couldn't take it. And I said, yeah, but they're terribly uncomfortable, Mr. Brown. He paused for a second. He says, yeah, but you can't see comfort.
That's hilarious. Y'all give it up for this. Woo! Go ahead and vote. Everybody vote. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Come on in. 1 to 10. Come on in. That is hilarious. Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
crazy.
Oh my God. Come on in, folks. Come on in. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, woo,
all right.
The sweet sounds of the songbird. None other than the first sister herself is going to give us an impression. And then once she do her warm-up impression, we going right to the single screen. First sister, the floor is yours.
There was a boy, a very strange and terrible boy, who never found a little child. I know all them songs. I play all that. I know all that. There ain't nothing. I know all them songs. Mr. Jefferson, get the arrangements for me. Get them together. Take your time. I want it done right. I want it correct. Correct. Correct.
All right, so now we go into the solo screen. The solo screen. You're on.
Oh, this was that was just one. I got another one. He called me one night and he was on a well-known talk show in the evening. And he said, Miss Bud, did you see me? I said, see you. You see me? I see you. I said, what? You see me? I see you. I said, what? He said, I see you. I saw you where, sir? That's not what I said. I said, you see, I see you. What? Sir, I apologize, sir. Mr. Brown, I'm not. Lord have mercy. Did you see me? I see you. I said, I don't understand what you mean. Miss Moore, I seen you. I seen you hall. Did you see me when I seen you? I said, oh, I'm sorry. He said, never mind. I'll talk to you later. So long, click.
I seen you hall. Woo! Give it up for first sister. That's what I'm talking about. Woo-hoo! Oh my God. That's hilarious.
They just don't know. They just don't know.
And see, this is why we need to hear from all of you, because there's some insights that you have to share with the world that none of us would ever know. Those special moments with Mr. James Brown himself.
Yeah.
So now we're going right to the saxophonist himself.
The Pope.
Her that put Sir to burn and preserve.
Oh,
Person that preserve and
Come
walk
back.
no weather.
Waldo, come back.
All right, wait. Let me take you out of solo. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. Waldo. And then I'll put you in solo.
Ooh. Yeah, that is solo. Sorry. I didn't do it like you did. Anyway, back in 1965, there's a song called Miss Jen, what name song? Yeah, anyway, it goes like this.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, Mr. Waldo. There you go. You and solo, all yours.
Well, you understand, we're in Seattle, Washington. And we're playing on the shore. They have boat ships all behind the ship everywhere. You see that ship? You see it moving? They moving to my music. They moving to my music. And Mr. Barry laughing. You laughing? You're not trying to $50. And don't kick my bus bumper no more.
I love it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from Mr. Waldo. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from Mr. Tyrone. Let's hear it from Mr. Jimmie and Miss Sister herself, Cynthia Moore, and of course, Mr. Hollie Farris. Let's give it up. Woo woo! Yes. So we're gonna tally those votes. I'm gonna leave that up to Miss Kim Jacobs herself to tally the votes. And then our next show, we're gonna come back. We're gonna see who the winner is, and we're gonna let you all know. And so listen, folks, we have had a fabulous time, and I wish we could have done more, but we know that the show is only like 45 minutes to an hour, but y'all in there with us for quite some time. And tonight we were able to talk about soulful collaborations.
And we ain't talked about nothing yet.
By Mr. James Brown himself, with our special guest all the way from Germany, the Pope of Funk himself, Sir Waldo.
That's right.
I love you, Waldo.
Accompanied with the songstress from Buffalo, New York, the first sister, Cynthia Moore.
Thank you.
The Tyrone Jefferson, the trombone won't leave you alone, Tyrone Jefferson. Of course, none other than the man that can play better than the rubber band man himself, guitarist Jimmie Lee Moore. And of course, on the horn, blowing his own trumpet, his own horn, Mr. Hollie Farris. We so appreciate each and every one of you for being here this evening. And to the other band members, the saxophonists from Greenville, South Carolina, the funky LeRoy Harper Jr., we are going to see you definitely next time on the next show. And Spike was here. Mr. Spike, the music extraordinaire, he was here, but he couldn't get on. So we'll definitely have him on the next show. And don't forget, folks, don't forget, wherever you go, make sure you also remember, I can't leave out Mr. New York himself, the guitarist, Mr. Fred Thomas.
Yes.
Wherever you go, we want you guys to keep the James Brown Band at top of mind and top of heart. And if you ever want to book them to come on your show, you ever want to book them to come to your venue, they are for hire. And so before we close, I want to know, where can people connect with you? And if you put it in the chat, if you haven't already, in our private chat, I'll go ahead and bring it up on the show.
Waldo.
All right. And I'll be sharing a couple of private links with you all so that you guys can kind of connect with folks. Mr. Tyrone, I almost put your phone number up there. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get in trouble. But what I am going to do is put that up there so you can contact him directly as well. He's got that nonprofit, so make sure you go ahead and support. Make sure
got
you
all the
support
money.
that
They
nonprofit.
just got all the money. Y'all had all the money. Everybody ain't never saved me. He got so much money that could buy him. But it's just what you doing. I got nothing, brother.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, folks, when you get ready to have them on your show, when you get ready to have them at your venue, they're there for your weddings, for any type of celebration that you need. Make sure you connect with them. You can go right here. I think the J was left off here. Let me put that J in there. Okay. And you can connect with them right there. And you can also connect with them right here. Mr. Jimmie Moore got his information right here. Make sure
Jimmie Moore don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. Get it coming. Jimmie Moore don't know nothing.
Don't make me sit in the Doberman gang after you.
Love you guys. I gotta go. I'm out.
Oh,
so
hey,
there we
if
go.
if I could tell you this story,
that's for the next show.
Oh, man,
there you go.
So with that being said, when we come back on the next show, we're going to have the presentation for the person that won tonight. But before we go, we're going to have some final words of wisdom from each person on the show tonight. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back for our final words of wisdom. Okay, here goes.
Over here tonight on the Lotus Riché Show.
I told y'all it was going to be quick. Didn't I make it quick? So let's go with our first words of wisdom, and we're going to let ladies go first with the remarkable Cynthia, first sister, Cynthia. You got
all I can say is love what you do and do what you love. If you do it, it's not work. It's a pleasure doing what you enjoy doing. You don't even look at it as work. I love singing. I do it. Hey, morning, noon, and night, church, wherever. I love it. And I mean, it's just been so enjoyable for me, whether you paid for it or not. Preferably paid, so you can help to move things along a lot better. But I love what I do, and I enjoy, giving the crowds exactly what they want. They want a good time, take them out of that little dull humdrum time or whatever. If I could just make you smile and sing along, snap your fingers, tap your feet, I know I done my job, God bless you all and thank you. Looking to see you all. Mm-hmm.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much. Do what you love. Love what you do and do what you love. I love those zesty words of wisdom. And so coming up next, Mr. Hollie, would you go ahead and grace us with your final words of wisdom for tonight's show?
Well, on May 4th, it was may the force be with you. But I'll say may the funk be with you always.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. May the funk be with you. Fantastic. I love it. All right. So we're going right over to Mr. Tyrone. Mr. Tyrone, we are ready for you, Mr. Tyrone. Let's get it.
One of my mantras is music is my air. I need it to breathe.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's my air.
That's right.
Breathe. I love that. I love that. And next on the mic is my man. I'm just messing with you. Next on the mic is Mr. Jimmie with his final words of wisdom for the night.
Live the life you love and love the life you live. Pray for the folks in Ukraine. They're having a hard time. And love your family, and appreciate that, because at any day, any given time, it could be the end. So don't go before the Creator with some unforgiveness in your heart. Make sure you love and thank God for each and every day, because it's very precious. Amen.
I love it. Love and thank God every day. Love and thank God every day. I'm loving it. And so, with that being said, did we get everybody? Everybody have their final words of wisdom? I guess the audience is saying, wait, we didn't. Angie said, we love it. Awesome inspiration. And of course, Dr. Yamaja says, thanks to you. I humbly honor all of you. Tabitha M. Booker, we see your hearts. Thank you so much. Let us know where you're coming in from. Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. We love and appreciate you. Kim, we got to get them on your show as well. And Charles says, thank you so much for sharing your insights and passion. Kim Jacobs says, congratulations, First Sister. First Sister is the winner of the impersonation competition. Woo!
Well, thank you.
And Corey
That's not fair,
Ferdinand
because
says,
that's our culture.
nice work, cuz. All right, great show. So much fun. Absolutely. And guess what? We absolutely want to see you back here next time for the Lotus Riché Ignite Show. We thank you.
Amen.
We appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see all of you, our guests, all around the world next time. Have a good day.
Yes.
All right. Good night.
Right.
Stand by. Thank you for joining the show.